started this presentation some 3 weeks ago. We already presented on African financed venture capital companies, and we on the first week we did for successful. Then thereafter we did for failed. So we're now on the third topic, which is five successful venture capital finance companies around the world. So, as an introduction, I would like us to all know that in venture capital, return follows the Pareto principle, which says 80% of the wins come from 20% of the deals. I don't know if you get this, but imagine you're investing in a business and just 20% of the entire 100% of your investment is bringing you a 80% win. So great venture capital invest knowing
Please
they're
mute
going
yourself.
to
If you
take a
have
lot of.
anybody that is disturbing you, please mute yourself. Please.
Which
Okay, please can you continue?
So great venture capital capitalists invest knowing that they are going to take a lot of losses in order to eat those wins. The 80% losses, they are prepared for it. They know those losses would come, and the 20% is what will actually give them the great profits they're expecting. According to Grace Dixon of venture firm Andreessen Horowitz, according to Crunchbase Insights on smart money venture capital, he referred to this as a Babe Ruth effect in reference to the legendary 1920 era baseball player. Babe Ruth would strike out a lot, but made a slugging record. That was where they got the Babe Ruth effect from a baseball player in 1920. So I would like us to also have an insight into how startups attract venture capital to finance their businesses. One is the fact that you, as a startup, you have to be physically healthy. Like, I mean, fiscal finance. You have to be financially healthy and literate. As a startup, you need to be healthy financially and you need to understand your finances very well before you can have the VCs to invest in your idea, basically. Then you have to prepare your story and your journey. That's in order to pitch right to whoever is going to invest in your business, you have to have your story very well laid out. You must have specific models of growth that are tailored towards the products you are rolling out. So you must prepare your pitching excellently, such that whoever listens to your story and how your journey would go would be willing and ready to finance you. Then you need to develop an online conversation with the venture capitalist. If you're saying you want VCs to invest in your business and you've not at some point um, got yourself acquainted with this venture capitalist, there's
Yes.
perhaps no way you can have them to invest in your business. So you need to start a proper conversation with them. But then, in getting a proper conversation with them, you must have prepared your story and your journey, and you must ensure that you have fiscal health and the literacy of your finances. More so, you need to conduct extensive research. I could remember that when I was presenting on why some venture capital finance companies in Africa fail, we talked about them not having a proper knowledge of their market. They are only about, okay, we want to produce this product. They have not researched into where they will sell it to, who they will sell it to, how much they'll sell it for. The cost and all of those things have not been taken into consideration. So conducting a research is as well a very important thing here before your venture capitalist would probably invest in your business. Then also you must have a product or solution ready to share. Venture capitals don't just invest, they invest in novel ideas, ideas that people have not really, come up with. So you must have a product or a solution that people will be willing to buy, basically. Then you must as well highlight your management and your management team and talent. You know, like I also mentioned when I was doing my presentation on reasons why some companies failed in Africa. I said something about the first five um, the first five staff rule. The first five staff you'll be having in your company must be people who would believe in your team, in the dream of the company. They must be talented. They must know what they're doing. And these are one of the things you can use in selling yourself to the venture capitalist. So we go now into the companies I'm going to be presenting on today. We have Alibaba, which is, we all know AliExpress at one point or the other. Maybe we would have shopped from China with AliExpress. We all know Google, our search engine. We use it almost on a daily basis. For the people who take so much pictures, we know Snapchat, this is Snap. Then WhatsApp, everybody has WhatsApp on their phone. It's something we cannot do 1 hour without opening. Then Spotify. Spotify is as well a music listening tool that just like the iTunes or Boomplay, that's what Spotify does as well. To listen to music, you can as you can, you know play as much music as possible on it. So now going into Alibaba, Alibaba, I'd like to do a brief introduction of Alibaba. Basically, Alibaba is a
It's too
multinational
small.
technology company.
Sir, Mr. Natio, next time
It
the
is
slide,
small,
the
right?
the wording, yes, it's too small, it's too tiny,
Okay.
and it's too worded. The words are
All right.
too many.
Too
It's a
much.
PowerPoint.
All
You are
right.
not supposed to give us notes like this. Do you understand? So
Okay. That's
future
fine.
presentation.
Okay, ma.
All
All right.
right,
So
no problem.
okay. Okay, so it's a e-commerce retail internet and technology um, company, and they do C2C, which is consumer to consumer. They do business to consumer. They do business to business sales services on it. Okay, Alibaba was founded in what year? In 1999. It was founded in 1999, and it was founded by Jack Ma. Okay. On September 2014, Alibaba's initial public offer was on the New York Exchange, and it raised a total of $25 billion, giving the company a market value of $231 billion as at the time it went public. And by far, it is the largest IPO in the world history till now. Okay. Alibaba has gone up to top 10 most valuable corporations and is named the 31st largest public company in the world as rated by Forbes 2000 in 2020. Alibaba became the second Asian company to break the US $500 billion valuation mark. As of now, the value of Alibaba is above $500 billion after its competitor Tencent in 2020. So Alibaba is the sixth highest global brand according to valuation in the world right now. So the funding of Alibaba Group, they've raised a total of $8.9 billion in funding over 17 rounds with 6 lead investors. The latest funding they had was in 2016, which was a post IPO equity round. Alibaba is registered under the ticker of HKG. As we all know, they've been published. And at the time when they went public, the stock value with which they opened was $176 HK. We had about 33 investors who funded Alibaba. And Alibaba now is more like a venture capital on their own. Apart from the fact that they were a venture capital finance company, Alibaba is now like a VC, and they've made about 254 investments. They've raised about $216 in a single venture fund for Alibaba Taiwan Fund, and they've also diversified, and they made 4 diversity investments, with the most recent one being in 2020. Alibaba, in their VC journey, they've successfully closed 66 exits. That's like they've invested and exited 66 investments.
Businesses. Yes.
Businesses, yeah, exactly. So um, I would like to tell us just about 10 of the entire 16 fundings Alibaba
66.
had. Sorry?
You said 66.
No, they had 17 rounds. They've
Okay,
done
okay.
66 exits. But
Okay.
then when for their own investments, the types of funding they did, they had 17 rounds, but I'll just tell us 10 of the 10 of the 10 of the funding, but then I would capitalize on just 4, which were finances. And in 2011, they had a secondary market round. Then in 2011 again, they had a private equity with 4 investors, and they raised about $1.6 billion. We had the lead investor to be um, DST Global and Silver Lake. Then in 2020, in 2012, and in 2012, they had another private equity round, which raised $2 billion for them. In this one, the lead investor was China Investment Corporation. In 2013, they had secondary market investments. In 2014, they had secondary market investments as well. But then the funding in 2014 was just $100 million. They didn't have any lead investors in this one, although they had 7 investors to key into it. Then in 2016, when they went public, they did a post IPO debt funding, and they raised a total of $3 billion in this one. Then again in 2016, they had a post IPO equity. The first post IPO was debt. Now this is equity. This is equity finance, equity funding. And they had 2 investors who raised them $1 billion. But then there was no lead investor in this. Then the next one is Google. I think my slides are actually a whole lot today. I'm sorry about that. But then we all use Google at one point or the other. Google now has gone beyond what we all are familiar with. Most people just feel Google is you go on Google, you type. No, I would like to mention a few other things Google are currently doing. I'm sure we'll probably be familiar with them. Google Chrome. I'm sure we know Chrome. Google Chrome. Google owns Google Chrome. The Gmail. Google owns that. Google owns cloud computing. That's like you can save your things in cloud. Google owns MySpace. Google owns YouTube. Google owns the operating system of Android. Google owns Fitbit, the wristwatches so many people wear around to monitor their health and all of those things, right? As a matter of fact, artificial intelligence is the one of the products of Google. The smartphone of Pixel is Google's phone. So they are a whole lot bigger than what we think they are. So their focus now is on artificial intelligence, search engines, online advertising, and all of those things. Okay. Google has really, really grown beyond what everybody even think they are currently. So talking about the funding of Google has raised a total of $36.1 million in funding over 4 rounds. Their latest round was raised in June 2000, in year 2000, from an undisclosed round. Google went public in 2004, and at the time they went public, their stock opened at $85. Google had 12 investors to fund it. Yahoo and angel investors were the most recent investors at the time before it went public. Google has made about 166 investments, right? And they've also diversified. Google, just like Alibaba, are now like a venture capital, and India's India business of being a venture capital, they've made 41 exits, right? Google's most notable exits, I would like you to know that Tesla, I'm sure we're all familiar with Tesla, is one of Google's investments. Airtel is as well Google's investment, and they've made a very successful exit in all of those investments. Google, they've also acquired 253 organizations. Their most recent acquisition was Raxium in 2022, March. They acquired this Raxium for $1 billion. So I'd like to tell us about the four funding Google had, which the latest was in 2000, a long time ago, I'll say. They had, in 1998, August 1, they had the angel round. The angel round, they raised $100,000. $100,000. There was no lead investor in this. In 1998, there was another angel round. They had three investors raising $1 million and no lead investor. In 1999, June 7, they had a Series A investment. They had eight investors raising $25 million. Sequoia Capital, I'm sure with our presentations, we must have heard Sequoia Capital a number of times, so we should know Sequoia Capital is a really big VC doing big things. Sequoia Capital and Claire Pickens are the lead investors in the Series A. With the final round they had, which was the funding round, they were able to raise $10 million, which was raised by Google, by Yahoo. Okay, the third presentation or the third company is Snap. Snap is a social media company. It's an American social media company. Was founded in 2011 by Evan Spiegel, Bobby Murphy, and Reggie Brown, right? I'm sure we're all familiar with Snapchat, one point or the other. You must have seen pictures, people taking pictures with flowers on their head or any of those things. That's Snapchat, for those who don't know. And as at now, the founders of Snap, they own just 95% of voting rights. Spiegel owns 48, while Murphy owns 47, and they are undiluted. When I say undiluted, there's no debt in it; it's complete equity. So now going to the funding of Snap. Snap, over 14 rounds, they've raised $4.9 billion in funding. And their latest funding was in 2018, August 7, from a post IPO equity. Snap have also gone public, right? And at the time when they went public, their stock was valued at $24. Snap is funded by 38 investors. They've made 13 investments, and their most recent investment was in February 2022. Just like the initial two I mentioned as well, Snap also now invests in other companies, which makes them like a VC, right? So the types of funding, I think I out of the 14, I think I only did 10 for Snap as well. In 2013, they had a Series C, with investors raising 54.5 million, and they had Q2 as the lead investor. In 2014, there was a Series D.
Continue. I can hear you. Continue. I can hear you. It's network. I feel Mr. Nasir's network is bad.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay. Sorry, your
All right.
network went off.
Yeah, it went off and I couldn't get in. Sorry, can you
Okay.
please grant me access my slide? Okay. All right. So sorry about the break. Um, okay. Well, on Snap. Okay. The types of funding of Snap. In 2015, there was a venture round. Snap raised, there was a venture round with just one investment. And as well in 2015, there was a Series E investment funding, which had 5 investors raising $200 million. Alibaba was one of the investors in Snap as at that time in 2015. In 2015 as well, there was a Series F. Snap had 4 investors and lead investor in Glade Brook Capital Partners. There was another secondary market in 2016. In 2016 as well, there was a Series F. There was a Series F. The Series F, there was a Series F with $1.8 billion. In 2017, there was a secondary market as well. It was an undisclosed fund for this one. Then in 2017, there was a post IPO equity where Snap raised $2 billion. Tencent was the lead investor on this one. Then in 2018 as well, there was the post IPO equity. Snap raised $250 million on this one. Al Walid bin Talal was the lead investor on this as well. That's all with Snap. Now we go to WhatsApp. Um, WhatsApp, WhatsApp Messenger. We're all familiar with WhatsApp Messenger. It's a centralized instant messaging app, a voice over IP service owned by Meta. Meta now owns Meta, which is Facebook, now WhatsApp. They bought over it just recently. Um,
How recent? How recent? When exactly?
it was acquired, I think in 2020 or 2019.
20.
I,
2022.
2019 or 2019 or 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 2014, Facebook acquired, which was acquired by, oh, okay. It was actually in 2014. The client application was created by WhatsApp Inc. of Mountain View, California, which was acquired by Facebook in February 2014, but it didn't materialize until 2020. It was
Okay.
bought for $19.3 billion. It became the world's most popular messaging application by 2015 and had more than 2 billion users worldwide by February 2020. By 2016, it had become the primary means of internet communication in regions including Africa, America, India subcontinent, and Europe. Um, the funding of WhatsApp. WhatsApp has raised a total of $60.3 million in funding over 3 rounds. Their latest round was raised on July 1st, 2013 from a Series B round. WhatsApp is entirely funded by Sequoia Capital. Entirely funded by Sequoia Capital. And the type of funding they had a seed round with WhatsApp raising 250,000. Then that was in 2009. In 2011 as well, WhatsApp raised another $8 million, still with Sequoia Capital. Then there was a Series B as well, with Sequoia Capital being the lead and only investor, raising $52 million. Sorry, it is not on my slide, but at the time WhatsApp was raising this second $52 million, their valuation was about $5 billion, which means they had made multiple of their funds. So the last company I'm presenting on today is Spotify. Spotify is a music application, the streaming app. the live streaming app where you can play all sorts of music from, and they have more than 182 million paying subscribers as of March 2022. Spotify is a listed holding company, and they are listed on the New York Exchange. So now going to the funding of Spotify. Spotify, over 20 rounds, they've raised a total of $2.1 billion. Their latest funding was raised on February 25th, 2021 from a post-IPO equity round. Definitely, the moment we hear post-IPO equity round, we should know that they've gone public and they had to do a post-IPO equity. At the time they went public in 2018, the stock opened at $165.90. Spotify is funded by 54 investors, and Spotify, they've been able to raise a total of 100,000 euro in a single venture fund, free and open source software fund. This fund was announced on May 4, 2022 and raised a total of 100,000 euro. Spotify has made 5 investments. Their most recent investment was on March 10, 2020, which raised them $1.8 million. Spotify has invested in a couple of companies, right? And that means Spotify now are like a venture capital. They are investing in people as well. And Spotify has made one exit. It will amaze us that Tencent Music Entertainment is one of the investment of Spotify, which they have successfully made exit from. And Spotify has also acquired 24 organizations. The most recent organization they acquired was Chartable on February 16, 2022, just recently. So we have some of the list of the funding Spotify was able to garner at the time they were starting up. They were still trying to grow. In November 2013, there was a Series F raising $250 million and having Technology Crossover Venture as the lead investor. In 2015 as well, we had a Series G. Spotify, with 21 investors, raised $526 million. And the lead investor in this was Goldman Sachs. I'm sure we all know what Goldman Sachs is. Goldman Sachs is one of the biggest banks in the UK, US, thereabout. Okay, August 30, 2015, there was a secondary market. In 2016 as well, there was a secondary market. But in 2016, they raised a $500 million investment by just one investor. Then in 2016, there was a debt financing. We have an idea of what debt financing is as well now. Getting loan, something that is not equity, debt, basically. So, and
Yes.
this one, they had 3 people to invest in them, and the value of the debt finance was $1 billion. In that same 2016, there was a secondary market. In 2017, we had another secondary market with 4 investors in 2016 and 1 in 2017. In 2017, there was a funding round. In 2017, there was another funding round. But then in 2018, there was a corporate round with 2 investors, with the latest one being the post IPO they had in 2021. And this brings us to the end of my presentation. I thank everybody for being patient to listen and for keep maintaining level of decorum for us to understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Nasir. Thank you for your nice presentation, and thank you for all the 5 companies that you spoke on: Alibaba, Google, Snapchat, WhatsApp, then Spotify. I think the only company I'm not so familiar with is Spotify. From all the companies you mentioned: Alibaba, Google, Snap or Snapchat, WhatsApp, and Spotify. Thank you so much for that great
Thank you so much.
presentation. But another
You're
thing I
welcome.
think I want to suggest is, I think I jotted it down. Your last presentation, okay, that was when we were talking about failed organization, not successful one. Sorry. Okay, nice presentation. Can we move on to the next presentation? Our time is fast spent already.
Okay, that's Mr. Olajaju.
I thought you will present fair capitalist companies around the world before I do my own.
No, no, no,
As
no.
you
It's
want it,
just
but
successful for this week.
successful for this week.
Yeah.
But you sent it
Me,
on
I
the group
don't
chat.
know.
What's that supposed to mean? That means you're not ready.
I'm ready. I'm trying to see it. Or if you can see it for me over there. I sent
No,
it
no,
to
you
your
can.
email earlier.
No, you have not shared it. I don't have it yet.
I sent it to your email, man.
I didn't download it.
All right.
But you can as well share it from your end there.
That's what I was trying. That's what I'm trying to do.
Please do. I didn't download it. I didn't download it, but let me see if I can quickly download it too. I was thinking you have a copy since you're the person that sent it to me. What's the problem, Mr. Olayodu? I thought you had the material. You sent me a
Yes,
copy.
ma'am.
Where's your own copy?
That's what I was trying. That's what I am trying to see.
Okay, share. I'm also trying to download for you, but it's not coming up yet.
No, a minimum. That's all right. So, I'm
Okay,
very sorry for taking your time, please.
no problem, no
Uh,
problem.
Good evening, man. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you for another opportunity I have to present about 5 successful venture capital finance companies in the world. I have 5 of them here. I have
PayPal,
PayPal, Uber,
Uber,
Airbnb,
Airbnb, yes, Meta,
Meta, and Twitter. PayPal is a company that provides online payment system to many users around the world. The headquarters is at San Jose, California,
yeah,
United States of America. The company was founded in December 1, 1998. The founders, Ken Howley and others. The company is active. Last funding type was Series D, that is financed through merger and acquisition. It is a multinational finance technology company operating online payment system in many countries that support online money transfers. The company remains at the forefront of digital payment revolution for over 20 years. The company makes the commerce and financial service more convenient. It is affordable, secure platform. The company is empowering more than 375 million consumers and merchants in more than 200 markets around the world. The cost of service is very low. The company has secured means of sending money. I will move to the second successful company in the world, Uber. This company develops, markets, and operates a ride-sharing mobile application that allows consumers a trip request. The company's headquarters is in California, United States. The company was founded in March 2009. The founders are Garrett Camp and Travis Kalanick. The company is active. The company started 2009 and grew to become the world's most valuable startup. The company most facilitating companies to emerge in recent years. Through the smartphone, they can smartphone, they can connect driver to people who may need a ride. The company provides Windows app, iPhone app, BlackBerry app, and Android app. The company serves customers in North, Central, and South America, as well as Europe, Middle East, Africa, and the Asia Pacific. The company has raised the total of $25.2 billion in funding over 33 rounds. The latest funding of September 14, 2020 from a post-IPO debt round. Investors are 160, PayPal, PayPal, and Asa Capital were the more recent investors. Investments. The company made 22 investments. The more recent one was in December 6, 2021, and raised $13 million. Acquisition. The company acquired 30 organizations. The more recent one was acquisition of Brisley on February 2, 2021 for $1.1 billion. I move on to the third company, successful capitalist companies. This company, Airbnb. This company that deals with online community markets, place for people lives. Accommodation is booked through the mobile phone or internet. The company deals with travelers seeking experiences. The company makes the process of listening or booking its space effortless and efficient. 4,500,000 listeners in over 68,000 cities in 191 countries around the world. The company was co-founded in August 2008 by Bram Kesky and Joe Giba. The company located in California, United States. Funding amount, the company raised the total of $6 billion in funding over 33 rounds. The last funding was raised on June 3, 2020 from secondary markets. That is through the buying and selling security and security they already own. Investors. The company funded by 82 investors, Jim, Sebastian, and others. Investment. The company has made its investments. Acquisition. The company acquired 24 organizations.
Why are you not reading here?
Yes, ma'am.
Continue. I can hear you. I've muted the person.
I move on to the fourth successful company
last one
in the world.
Okay, Meta
The
now.
second to the last. The Meta. The company is a social technology that enables people to connect, fund communities, and grow businesses. The headquarters of the company is located in Menlo Park, California, United States. The company was founded February 4, 2004. The company, previously known as Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, announced the company rebrand to Meta on October 28, 2021 at the annual Connect conference. The founder, Mark Zuckerberg, $10 million was offered to acquire the company in May 2004. The Facebook turned down the offer and later received to $12 million to $12.7 million in funding. In January 2011, the company received $1.5 billion, and the company's value is $50 billion. The company went into public on May 18, 2012, with opening shares trading at $42.5. As of July 2013, over 1.5 billion users, 1.15 billion users have logged into Facebook. The Facebook is the top photo sharing site with 250 million photos uploaded per day. Meta is currently the owner of many applications and services such as Facebook app, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus VR. 2.9 billion active users monthly. The company raised a total of 16.1 billion in funding over 16 rounds. 27 investors funded the company. The last successful company in the world, Twitter. Twitter is a social network platform that allows users to send and read microblog up to 280 characters, known as tweets. The headquarters of the company, San Francisco, California, United States. Founded date, March 21, 2006. Founders, B. Stone, F.R. Williams, and others. The Twitter is a social network platform that allows users to read microblogs of up to 280 characters, known as tweets. It enables registered users to read and post their tweets through the web, short message service, SMS, and mobile applications. A global real-time communication platform. Twitter has more than 400 million monthly visitors and 255 million monthly active users around the world. Twitter active group of registered members includes world leaders, major athletes, star performers, news organizations, entertainment outlets. It is currently available in more than 35 languages. Twitter was launched in 2006 by Jack Dorsey, F.R. Williams, and others. The headquarters, as I've said, is in California, United States. The local offices is in Atlanta, Austin, Boston, Boulder, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, New York, Sunnyvale, and Washington. Twitter international offices are located in Amsterdam, Berlin, Dublin, London, Madrid, Paris, Rio de Janeiro.
Amsterdam.
Okay.
Amsterdam.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. The Twitter has raised a total of 4.4 billion in funding over 18 rounds. The latest funding was raised on March 4, 2022 from a post-IPO equity rounds. Investors. Twitter funded by 36 investors, Elon Musk, and others. Investment. Twitter has made 10 investments. Their more recent investment was in February 8, 2022, when OpenNote raised $20 million. Acquisitions. Twitter has acquired 67 organizations. Their more recent acquisition was OpenBack on April 12, 2022. Thank you for allowing me to present my paper.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Olanyoju. Also, I want to say a big thank you for the 5 companies that you have presented on PayPal, Uber, LBNB, Meta, and Twitter. At the end of the class, we would still talk about all these companies that you have presented, because I've seen 1 or 2 inaccuracies, but I'm trying to jot down so at the end of the whole class so that we can talk about it. Okay, so who's presenting next? Mr. Shola? Mr. Shola?
No, my name is next on the list.
Okay, Mr. Bello, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Bello, you have the floor. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everybody. And
Good evening. Can you
thanks.
share your slide, please?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
I don't know
Um,
why people send it to me.
I sent.
Most times I don't have time to download and do all those stuffs.
No, it's not on your WhatsApp.
And I said you should send it to the group chat. Please, can you send it to Mr. Nasio? Mr. Nasio, please, can you help us? Mr. Nasio,
Okay, ma.
please send it to
I'm
him.
not. I'm
Send it
not on
to
the
him
same
on
group
the.
chat with.
I don't
He has
have
the
this on.
number, and you have his number.
Okay, let me message
You
him
have
now.
he has your number, and you have his number.
Mr.
Just send it
Shola,
to him on WhatsApp.
right?
So, Mr. Bello,
Okay, Mr. Bello. Oh, okay. Let me message him. So,
let me see if did you send it to me directly, sir?
Yes, on WhatsApp.
Hello, on WhatsApp,
On
Mr.
WhatsApp.
Bello, right?
Yes. Yes.
I just messaged you. You can drop it now. So, okay.
Okay, have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can I go ahead?
You can't go ahead without the slide until they share it. You can't go ahead until it is shared so that everybody can see. Okay, we have just 4 people now. Many people are going off. Okay. Okay. Mr. Nasri, have you been able to share the slide? Not even yet.
I can't share Word documents, ma. The slide was presented, done in Word document.
Mr. Bello.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bello,
I'm
was
with
it
you.
what document you did it? Was it what document
Yeah.
you did it?
Yes.
It can't be what document. It has to come in PowerPoint. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm stepping you down. You can't come in Word document. It has to come in PowerPoint if you want everybody to see. And I think I've overemphasized that you can't present on Word document. It has to come through PowerPoint. So I'm going to step you down. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
All right. Mr. Shola, are you ready? Mr. Shola, are you ready? Mr. Shola, are you ready?
Sorry.
She didn't worry.
Mr. Shola,
Hello?
are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is your presentation in PowerPoint?
Yes, it's in PowerPoint.
Okay. So can you share so that everybody can see?
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you're not able to share, you can send it to Mr. Nasio so that I can share with everybody.
I want to try to share it. Right?
Are you using your phone or your laptop?
I'm using both now, so that I'll be able to. Yes. Now,
You're wasting a lot of time. This is to 9 already. And now your PowerPoint should be ready. It should not take so much time for you to share.
That's what I'm trying to do. Sorry, ma'am.
Mrs. Shukrat, are you ready? She's gone offline. Mrs. Shukrat, are you ready?
She's gone.
Gone
Okay.
offline.
She's gone offline.
I'm allowing somebody else. Another person is on the queue. So she's not available. I'm allowing somebody else.
I know, ma'am.
Mr. Ibrahim, what's the challenge?
Check it now. You're able to access my slide now.
Okay. Okay. Over to you now. The floor is opened.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. And by name Adegbemile Ibrahim Shola. So I'm here to present on 5 successful business funded by venture capital. I want to start by there are many businesses in Africa.
Your voice is echoing. Maybe you switch off your phone or you take your phone away from that place or something is happening that is not right.
Okay. Let me try to use phone, because if I use system, you will not be able to hear me very well. Okay.
The floor is open for you. It's your time now. So, and we are almost out of time. This is 20 minutes to 9.
Okay, ma. I'll do it quickly now. So, as I was saying,
The slide is not
there are many
showing.
businesses in Africa.
Your slide is not showing,
Wow.
sir. Can't present without the
Okay.
slide.
Wow. Coming. That means I have to re-upload it. Sorry, ma'am. A minute.
No problem, it's fine.
Okay. Sorry, I'm coming.
I'm waiting for you, Mr. Nasir.
You're waiting for me. Hello, ma.
Mr. Nasir, Mr. Sholaya, what's happening? How to stream?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear
Hello?
you now.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. I hope the slide is showing everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So, as I was saying, I want to discuss some of the businesses funded by venture capital and they are able to make it, especially on the African soil. One, I want to discuss on Gerocare. Then I want to talk on Akantia, Piggy Bank, Wasabi, and Rensos. So, Gerocare is a company established by medical. Gerocare is a company established by medical personnel that want to work on how they will invent something that is different to African people. We discovered that in our advanced world, a lot of people are enjoying medical facilities even right there at their own four wall of their room. So they try to introduce this to the African people in order to at least have a kind of special medical care. This company was developed a subscribe-based service for parents and elderly people. This is especially for parents, for people that they at the old age that they cannot have access at least to move out there to go and skill the way other people that have ability and agile to do. So these people just try to come up with a kind of reasoning and a kind of innovation. So, and this company is being funded by venture capitalists. So they made it, and people enjoy their services, and across Africa they were able to excel. And their mission, they pioneer medical inclusion by leveraging technology, provide access to medical services at a convenient time and at a convenient hour. So that is their mission. Their vision is to be most loved, use sustainable and easily accessibility home medical services. They have focuses on how people will enjoy their medical request, especially when they are into maybe the kind of illness or whatever. So these people, they make medical services at affordable and easy access. So the second company that I want to talk about is Akantia.
Hold on. You have not told us about their funding, maybe Series A or Series B, seed or whatever. You have not said anything. You just told us what the company does. That is not what we are interested in. We are interested in who funded them, how was it funded, how long ago, how many rounds of funding were they able to access. You have not said anything about that.
Okay, you mean okay. Gerocare, they are.
It's not part of your slide. It's not part of your slide, and every information has to be on your slide,
Okay.
please. It's not part of your slide. I'll have to step you down and let me check the other companies what you did.
Okay.
That was the same thing you did for the other company.
What I did the same thing because I thought
Yeah.
slide is not necessarily to be contained.
No. Everybody's seeing the information you are presenting. Mr. Shola, can you hold on? Everybody's seeing the information you are presenting. So what our focus is, if they are venture capitalists funded, what kind of funding did they have access to? Who funded them? How many series? How much? How long? What are they? Are they still a venture capitalist funded company, or are they also financing some startup businesses now, or have they gone public from startup to public? That is all the information we want to know, sir. Do you understand what I said?
I understand.
So I'm going to step you down too. Did you see Mr. Olayoju's presentation and Mr. Nasri's presentation?
That means I have to represent this so
You didn't answer my question. I said, did you see Mr. Olayoju's presentation and Mr. Nasri's presentation?
I heard where they are talking, but I don't have access to their slide.
You don't need to have access. It showed on the system now.
It's not clear. It's not clear very well, ma. Sorry.
No. It was clear. That was where I jotted every information I got from it. The same way you can see your own, the same way everybody showed theirs.
Okay.
So I'm going to step you down. So sorry, because you have not given us the details of the funding. You have not given us who funded them, how was it funded, Series A, seed, pre-seed, what kind of funding were they entitled to, or what kind of fund, and are they still startup, or they're fully grown businesses, or they have gone public already? We want to know, how did they exit the venture capitalist contract or agreement? All this was not stated in your presentation. So because of this, I'm going to step you down. Thank you, everyone. I sincerely appreciate your effort. You have really put in a lot of effort to this presentation. I'm so sorry because I had to step some people down. Presentation is presentation, and it has to meet all our standards. And once it doesn't meet the standard, then you will not be able to present. And that's why I had to step down Mr. Bello and Mr. Ibrahim. Mr. Ibrahim, you just need to add some finishing touches to your work, then you'll be good. Do you understand?
No problem, ma'am.
Then Mr. Bello, you also have to do the same. You can see examples of the presentation we had earlier. So at this point, I would like to bring this presentation to an end. Thank you, Mr. Nasrio. You said something about the timetable. I'm going to end the live stream now so that we can discuss and move on from this point. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Let me end the live stream now so that we can have our own discussion. Thank you.